It is 7 PM on June 23rd, 2020, and we are going to open the administrative board meeting. We do roll call, please.
Yep. I have trustees Chris Sample,
Here.
John Talbot.
Here.
William Luxinger is absent. Dina Simpson is absent. Jen Christensen.
Here.
Jared Jones.
Here.
President Rick Werner.
Here.
Treasurer Brenda Onabate. Here. High Clerk Sandy Monson here. Attorney David Silverman.
Here.
And Public Works Supervisor Brett Fergie.
Here.
Motion to let William Luxinger participate remotely due to work. Motion to let Dina Simpson participate remotely due to medical.
Second.
John makes a motion to allow William Luxinger to attend remotely due to work, and Dina Simpson to attend remotely due to medical. Jared seconds. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no.
No.
Motion passes 702.
William.
Here.
Dina.
Here.
All right, will you please review the items on the consent agenda?
Yep, tonight for approval on the consent agenda is item number 1, the May 26, 2020 Administrative Board Minutes. Item number 2 is bills payable warrant list dated June 23, 2020. And number 3 is resolution number 20-41, a resolution approving and authorizing execution of quote from Wolf Brothers Tree Service for removal of ash trees and stump grinding.
At this time, do any of the board members wish to pull any of the items off the consent agenda for further consideration?
Bills payable and warrant list.
Okay,
Yes,
what would you like to pull off?
the minutes.
We might as well do them independently. 'Cause now we're down to doing 3 different motions. Does somebody, start with number 1.
How much longer since we're not, are we gonna have?
Oh,
You gotta make a
gonna
motion.
make a motion?
Make a motion to.
Let's start with,
I'll make a motion to approve the May 26, 2020 administrative board minutes.
I'll second.
Chris makes a motion to approve the May 26, 2020 administrative board minutes. Jen seconds. Any discussion?
Yes.
Okay. Go.
Under my report at the very end, I had discussed, if you guys recall, that there was a lot of topic on, the police enforcement and everything else, and that I had mentioned that we have never asked residents on a non-binding referendum. Well, at the bottom of it, of this paragraph, it's words that Williams suggested the village place a non-binding referendum question on the ballot at the next election to gather the opinion of the residents and having the police department, and if they would be okay with an increase in taxes to pay for the police department. I kind of see that worded as that I am suggesting that I want a police department, whereas I presented it just as an alternative to the means that was continuously presented to us through our social media.
What section is that under, William?
It is under his,
It's
under
on
him.
Finance Committee.
Yep.
It's on page 3. Yeah, right there. Nope, that last paragraph right there, or the last sentence right there. What are you talking
Yep.
about?
Most of the paragraph is an accurate assessment, but other than, I think there was this section that might have been left out that I did suggest we place a non-binding referendum on there to seek their opinion, but then I also reiterated that maybe there's a second question that asks, would they be supportive if they chose the police department, would they want a tax increase to support that also? But without having listened to the audio, I can't speak verbatim to it. I'm going off my recollection.
But you're just looking to set the record straight, so we have that now.
Just review the minutes and approve them.
I don't know if he's looking for that, or,
Are you looking to have it amended?
Yes.
but which sentence again? Because I don't see that exact sentence. Oh, hold on.
Under Finance Committee, under Section B, there's an unlabeled paragraph,
Well, that's because
the
of
last
the
sentence.
motion.
You are just summarizing
Okay.
them, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it does say Williams suggested the village place
I
non-binding referendum of question.
I would rephrase that as, I suggested as an option. I'm not suggesting that we have a police department, and I'm not suggesting that we do that. I presented that as an option.
Can I
for the
read it?
residents
Hold
to
on,
have
let me
another
read the
voice.
sentence one more time. It's actually up from there, Rick. Keep going, it's the little short paragraph before Jared
Oh,
left.
there you go, right there.
Yeah. the second sentence in that paragraph says, Williams suggested the village place non-binding referendum questions on the ballot at the next election to gather the opinion of the residents on having a police department and if they would be okay with the increase in taxes to pay for the police department. And what were you saying was the issue? Because it says Williams suggested.
I think you said
I
it's an
suggested
option.
it as an option, not suggesting it as I'm pressing the board to go do this. It was just presented as an option to the board to get the opinion of the residents. And that I didn't act,
Well,
the second part about a tax increase was a secondary option as well, not a combined thing.
Isn't
And
suggestion,
nor am I suggesting we have a tax increase.
isn't it the same thing?
That's not my understanding.
do you wanna review the audio and address this later?
If she would like to send it to me, I will.
Yeah, I can do that. Let's just move these to the next regular board meeting.
Yep.
That gives William 3 weeks to look at them. 1, 2, 3 weeks. So we'll have something by then.
So why don't you motion to table consideration of the minutes to the next regular...
Regular board meeting.
Yes, because there's a motion.
Well,
Somebody has to withdraw the motion first.
Well,
Yeah, someone
what-
does have to
well-
make another motion.
Who made the motion?
I did, and
Okay.
I'm not gonna withdraw it. So if somebody else wants to, feel free.
Well, I didn't-
I'd prefer to just vote on it and move along.
Chris,
Is that not an option?
It is.
If it's on the table, we have
Instead of
to.
vote, then vote on it. And if the vote fails, someone can then make a motion to table to the next regular board meeting.
All right, since this is going that way, we are going to do roll call.
Jen?
Yes.
Wait, this is to pass them.
This is
Yes.
to pass them,
This
yes.
is to pass the
This
minutes.
is to accept them.
Jared?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Dina?
No.
Chris?
Yes.
William?
No.
Motion passes 708. Can we amend them at a later date?
No, they're...
Okay.
No, but I will.
Want to give them an option?
No, but these minutes will have this discussion in them.
Right. All right, motion for the bills payable warrant list.
Jared, you can make a motion and still vote no at the end.
All right. My question is,
Nope, you gotta put a motion on the table
Motion
first.
second, discussion.
I'll make a motion to approve bills payable warrant list dated June 23rd, 2020.
Second.
Jen makes a motion to approve bills payable warrant list, John seconds. Any discussion?
yes, I know I asked this question before, but how much longer since everything's starting to slow down with the COVID-19, how much longer we're gonna still have to pay this $6,230 bill for the COVID-19 policy?
That's from last month. Yeah,
But
and that's not a.
how much
That's
longer?
not a policy, that's any work that they do
Yeah,
related to
I understand
it, as long as we can, because if we were to receive grant money, we'd need to be able to pay that. We need to be able to say, hey, we spent this much on legal attorney fees for COVID-related matters.
They're
So,
just
those-
documenting it for
Yeah,
that
those
reason.
items would typically be under other areas of their bill, but they have grouped them there for our reference only. So otherwise, they'd be under the general admin matter and all of those. The only reason you're seeing them under there is for that purpose, because, we asked, they offered to handle it that way in case we get a grant later on,
So how long are we gonna have this bill then?
as long as we need it.
It's just for possible reimbursement, right?
That's exactly
Correct.
what it is.
Just
They're
grouping it in
generally
place.
It's just
issued-
bookkeeping.
All right.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Never mind.
All right.
Any further discussion? It's money, roll call.
Jared?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Dina?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
William?
Yes.
Jen?
Yes.
Motion passes 710. I think the only thing we didn't have a question on is number 3.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 20-41, a resolution approving and authorizing execution of quote from Wolf Brother Tree Service for removal of ash trees and stump grinding.
Second.
Jen makes a motion to approve resolution number 20-41. John seconds. Is there any discussion? Not hearing any. Roll call, please.
John?
Yes.
Dina?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
William?
Yes.
Jen?
Yes.
Jared.
Yes.
All right, motion passes 7-11. We, don't have any items, any more items that were removed. We're out of items, so we move on to the report of the officers and myself. Does anybody have any questions on the fuel or water reports? Get back to the agenda. All right, last night I met with some citizens that are concerned about, we talked about three things. We talked about the solar farm, we talked about North Junction Road, and we talked about the landfill. One of the things we can probably do some improvements on is the North Junction Road. My assumption was it was the condition of the road, and I was completely wrong. That might be a underlying factor later, but right now it is more the speed people are going up and down that road at. And actually, the condition of the road might actually help keep them slow. So, a couple of things we discussed last night were, how to, try to make people aware of the 40-mile-an-hour speed limit. We talked about the LED signs flashing at either the speed limit sign or the yellow speed zone ahead. So today I asked Brett to order the yellow speed zone ahead sign, with the LED lights around it. So he should be getting that, and we'll install it when it comes in. He is also gonna get the speed trailer, charged. And, if we can get any of the landowners out there that might have like a field access lane that we could park that on, because with the ditches being so steep out there, it'd be a great place we could set that up, and actually, it'll be a couple days till we have it up and ready to go, but it'd be a nice way to get it out there.
Do we need to charge batteries, or do we need new batteries? Okay.
Can you speak up just a little bit more, because I
Oh.
can't hear you at all?
I can bring my microphone closer. I'm on.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, so that was last night. There was, you know, the board had voted previously, or had consensus previously, that we were still against the solar farm. That was one of the concerns they'd brought up. And then the landfill, the expansion, any of the odors. And that's one of the things we are working on with the negotiations with them, are the odors and how long it has. Striping along the street, I talked to Brett about this afternoon, seeing if we can possibly stripe the no passing zone across the hill, because people are they're actually passing each other on the hill, according to them last night, which is not safe in the least. Can you hear me now?
When you speak into the mic, I can...
All right, let me see if I can get this thing closer. Maybe I can steal David the mic over here. That one's on. Let's try that. Can you hear me, Dina?
Yes, yes,
All right, I'm gonna blast you out of here now.
that's much better. That's okay, we don't mind Scotty.
I don't normally raise my voice, so usually doesn't do well when I do. I know they have some concerns tonight they want to bring up, and we'll do that in the public section, but we're gonna take some short-term stuff and then see what we can do about longer-term items. You know, Brett has some concerns about the striping with the width of the road, and so we would actually have to get out there and measure the road and make sure it's supposed to be a two-lane road, but we know with some of the damage out there, it's pretty narrow in spots. That is what I have. We'll move on to the clerk.
So, we're gonna talk about the, executive session meeting minutes in closed session, and then we'll deal with that when we get out of closed session. The destruction of the closed session tapes is what we do every 6 months to destroy tapes for closed session meetings where the minutes have been approved and all of those things. So we can either do that now or at the end, your choice.
Over here.
We'll just do them both after closed session. We'll just deal with them both then. I feel like I had some more things and I didn't write them down like I should have. I don't remember. I'll speak up if I remember.
And you're gonna look up the stuff on the annexation, the original annexation to the landfill stuff.
On a note on my desk.
So she has a list of items to follow up on as well for what we discussed last night.
Yep. That's all I have for now.
Treasurer,
Nothing.
microphone, she'll yell at you.
Oh.
You laugh 'cause you know Sandy.
Well, just the auditors, were in communication with us Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It was a lot more work than normal because normally they come here, so there's a lot of scanning on our part. But everything seemed to go all right. We're still asking for a couple more things here and there, so everything's pretty smooth on that end.
That was strange. Okay, go to the committees, community development and events.
I have nothing other than still doing our fireworks on July 3rd with no restrooms or concessions open and social distancing. And we are gonna be putting out information for, vendors for our, farmer's market to see where we stand with that. I know I've made phone calls and talked to people that are kind of excited to still do something. So hopefully we get plenty of them. That is all I have.
Finance,
Nothing.
ordinance enforcement,
Nothing at this time?
parks,
No.
streets and ditches. You have a blank slate up there.
Yeah, no. They'll come, they're coming, just not today. You didn't get a second.
That's unusual for your slate, though.
You didn't get a second from somebody else for Edson Road? All right. Next week.
Okay.
2 weeks. That was the other thing. No meeting next week, 2 weeks.
All right, 2 weeks.
Utilities,
All I have on there, and we've talked about it a little bit before, in terms of, eliminating the grit, in the well and the wastewater treatment plant. So if people want to discuss it, I'll go ahead and make the motion, and people can discuss it from there. And then, if Brett wants to share anything, the only thing that I would want to share is that, from what I can gather from what we have on the quote, we won't know how much we have in there. That's a quote as if they were working a full 8-hour day, and that's my impression of that. Is that right, Brett?
that is correct.
Okay. So I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 20-44, a resolution approving and authorizing execution of quote from Frank Sewer and Drain Incorporated for vacuuming out grit and wet well at the wastewater treatment plant. Sorry.
Second.
Dina makes a motion to approve resolution number 20-44. Jared seconds. Is there any discussion?
Yeah. We didn't get a second quote from anybody?
I think typically, and Brett, you can let me know, I mean, we typically use Frank's, so no, we didn't, but if there's something different, Brett, then from what I know, we usually use them, and that's why we go
I
directly to
don't
them.
remember the dollar figure off the top of my head.
It's $7,480.
Yes, $7,480. They're one of the few around that has the equipment big enough to do this job, so that's pretty much why we went with them, because I know they have the equipment.
You're saying they're the only vendor?
Well, they're the only ones that I know of in this area
That's fine,
that
that's all I wanna know.
are very close to us. So I know one other company, but he doesn't have this size equipment.
They do have a big factor.
You know, I could get a hold of another one, but they're downstate, so their mobilization fee is gonna be a lot more
All right.
than these guys, so.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Dina?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
William?
Yes.
Jen?
Yes.
Jared?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Motion passes 720.
And I have nothing else.
Anybody have anything on economic development? It's kind of a silly question during COVID. And we are on to public. All we ask is use a microphone. You do not have to tell us who you are or where you live. The microphone's up here, but it's turned off. You'll have to push the
I
button.
think Sandy turned it on.
Oh, you turned it on? Hopefully it's still on.
If you want to stay with where you're at, you can grab the mic and bring it to you. Well, I agree.
Well, maybe I can, or maybe I can't.
Pull straight towards
There we
you.
go. All right. I just, we had the meeting last night, so I just drafted a small letter, addressing to the Village Board of Davis Junction. And it's from the concerned homeowners of Davis Junction. It says, "This letter is to advise the Village Board of the concerns of various homeowners in regards to the proposal from Clinton Davis for a solar electrical producing facility on North Junction Road. We, the surrounding homeowners, are in opposition to this request. Mr. Davis does not reside in our village. He will not be directly affected by the negative results of the next 20 years. He will not be subject to any negative aspects from the solar plant. We, the surrounding neighbors, will be directly affected by this proposal. This area is subject to very strong winds. There is a concern about pieces of panels being broken and blown into neighboring homes and yards. We are not sure what the sounds may be produced from these panels when we experience the strong winds that are commonplace on this road. The area is adjacent to the main north road coming into Davis Junction. Reflect upon how you want Davis Junction to grow and what other possibilities there are for expansion of homes or other revenue-producing businesses that could occupy this area. Please give serious thought about, would you want this beside or across from your home? Thank you in advance for your consideration of our request for your denial of a solar plant. Residents of North Junction Road.
We have the right to deny that.
I didn't
It's been-
think it was even in consideration.
According to the county's own ordinance, passed after the initial project. If it's within a mile and a half of our boundaries, if we say no, it's no. But there are rumors that there's some
Sorry.
things going on that are trying to say that because it's the same person, it might still be the same project. I disagree with that.
Because it's, you know, I went to that county board meeting for the one that was supposed to go up by, in Big Mound. Now, say, they do put a solar farm, and that company goes bankrupt, and no company comes and buys it, the guy that owns that field's liable to dispose of that stuff.
Right. And that was
So,
one
I
of,
mean, we have the right to say yes, and we have the right to say no.
that was one of the things too, was that the contract they originally had no out clause. There was no cleanup in it if, at the end of the life of it. I did speak with the committee chair for the county board that's hearing this, and they agreed that that their ordinance should allow us to block it.
Yeah, 'cause that meeting was 4 hours long.
Is under round 2 or something? I thought that
Yeah.
they didn't
They-
get, all right, so they
They
were
didn't.
chosen in round 1, and
Right.
now we're up for round 2. Have they been chosen, or do we even know that?
They haven't. There hasn't been a lottery.
All right.
Right. But he thinks, because the last agreement was it couldn't be within a mile and a half of town, and he thinks that he should be grandfathered in, he should still be able to do it.
The property owner?
Yes.
All right.
I can explain. The permit, he has a special use permit for that piece of property
From the county?
from the county. That special use permit has expired. He feels as though he should be able to go back under the original agreement from the last one to renew his permit. He may get picked in this lottery, we don't know. I do know the fact that anybody that had an opposition, when the state, even though the county granted it, when the state went to, grant the permits, if there was opposition, they did not get them. So, we're just trying to voice our opinion again. We, you know, whether it comes to you guys or the county board, we'd like to have our, I know, I'm hoping you guys are all on to say no, but, you know, that's just kind of where the situation is. It directly affects all of our properties. There's about 14 homes down there, goes directly across from us, so.
And I was there last night also, and you can say that, and like the pictures that you guys are showing me, where they wanna put the solar farm literally affects the water runoff, like how the water runs off the fields and stuff like that. So you think, how are they gonna fix that? If it would happen to go there? I mean, it's a lot of water. I mean, we know because we had to redo that pipe out here because of all the water. Make it bigger, so.
There's no advantage for the village to have that, so
There's not.
I would be against that, so.
No, what did we discuss last night? What was it, like only .9 miles out of town versus, you know, what you thought was it? Would it?
From our boundaries, it's
Yeah.
right across the street.
Right.
It's actually within 100 foot, it would be within 200 foot of our property. Actually, Greg's not in the city, but.
Okay.
I think it was Chad that said it was like .9.
It might be William.
Probably his radio.
It's probably William.
But, I mean, I think you guys, after listening to you last night, you guys have some very valid concerns. And I know if I lived there, I wouldn't.
Yeah, 'cause, panels have some kind of toxin in it that can contaminate the ground too.
I don't think they have
So
enough.
the stuff we can make, the stuff we can kinda make immediate changes
It takes
on,
a special
we're trying to
permit
move on. The
dispose
stuff
of.
we're gonna research more on, and we'll get back to you on it.
Well, hasn't come before us again though, right?
No, not for the
No.
solar pump. But the
They-
speed,
they have
if we
to
can draw attention to the speed zone and we can put
Oh,
the speed sign out there,
Are you guys, is it people coming from the north or people coming out of town for the speed?
For the speed, it's everybody. It doesn't matter whether you're coming from the south, whether you're coming from the north. It makes no difference. The rough time is between 6 AM and probably 9 o'clock in the morning, and probably from about 4 in the afternoon till about 6 or 7 at night.
People going to work
It
and
turns
coming home?
into quite a racetrack after about 9 PM. Once you get to that hill, it's as smooth as can be, and you can see as far as you want. So, I mean, I don't have a radar gun or anything, but I can tell you right now, there's people that are going excess of 80 miles an hour down that road. I appreciate Rick and Jen coming last night. We've had some numerous meetings amongst ourselves, fighting the county board, because the original agreement was through the county board, but now we're gonna start opening up we'd like to address the speed, as Rick said.
Have you contacted the sheriff's department about patrolling it?
We've all contacted the sheriff department at different times. They've been down there radaring, they may show up and radar at, 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday. Well,
That doesn't help.
it doesn't help that those certain slot times is where the issues are. And it's no different, as we talked last night, it happens in the subdivision. People don't follow. They don't follow stop signs, they don't follow speed bumps,
No,
nothing.
we're familiar.
Yeah, it is, but it's becoming, my kids are all older now. My youngest is in college, but we now have another group of kids moving in, smaller kids now again. 20-plus years ago, that speed limit was lowered to high road to 40 miles an hour to help, because there was people were passing school buses, and at that time, they didn't have the ticket capability like they do now.
I guess,
It has
I guess
become-
one of my biggest concerns is, last night, you walked home, March.
Yeah.
Who's to say that someone's not gonna come flying, down that hill, and it's at Country Road, you hit a bump and you lose control and take somebody out going to get their mail.
Yeah, that's
Honestly,
awesome.
it's a major problem every day. I mean,
and Greg had made the comment last night that there was a truck pulling a boat followed by a silver car. And the only reason he called it a truck pulling a boat is because he couldn't tell what color it was because it was moving too fast.
Right.
And he could see the silver car. Marge caught the color.
Marge goes,
It's definitely an issue that needs to be addressed, whether we put, I don't think we need to do major projects down there, but maybe putting a couple of signs up and maybe striping the road in a couple of spots. I know the road is, honestly, I really don't want the road fixed. I tow farm machinery up and down that road, and I have a tough time sometimes. I kind of know when to do it, so I don't have problems, but it is a big issue. It's a big issue. I know it happens everywhere, but it's dangerous.
well, like you said, especially when they're passing you,
Yeah.
going in the ditch, passing.
We were just
around
getting
you.
our mail on Sunday afternoon, I don't know what time it was, 2 o'clock-ish, and I pulled up to my mailbox to open the door, and a guy coming this way, he had to have been going 60-plus miles an hour, and he saluted me as he was going around, because he had to go around me. So, that's how it ends up being, and it's all of us up there. It's not a few select, it's everybody that's up there has these issues with the speeding.
One thing it would help maybe if I got,
Marge, you gotta use the microphone.
See?
I can talk pretty loud. I can still get in good cahoots with the sheriff and have him sit in my driveway again. That works. It's happened before.
Would love to see
When
it.
they sit behind the evergreens and those cars come over the hill, boom.
There you
They've
go.
already, whoops, I missed that when we were talking, yes. This happens, I know, but I haven't been in good favor with any of the care of people lately. And they sit down here at the neighbor's vacant place. You can look and see them down there. If they come and sit behind my evergreens, and it's no problem, I'm not getting in and out. So, I have another driveway I could use if I had to. But that's where it's a good place to catch them when they're going fast. And I have no objection to that, because it's safety for everyone.
Awesome.
Do I need the mic yet?
I'm gonna tell you tomorrow when I listen to the audio.
Okay, yeah, but you kinda got it down, what I said.
Oh, I have what is down, the video doesn't pick it up.
Okay.
Anything further, guys? All right, we're gonna move on then.
Any closed session?
We do.
I'll make a motion to go into closed session 2C21, discussion of minutes of meetings lawfully closed under this act, whether for purposes of approval by the body of the minutes or semi-annual review of minutes as mandated by section 2-06.
Jen makes a motion to go into closed session under section 2C21. John seconds. All in favor? No, roll call.
Chris?
Yes.
William?
Yes.
Jen?
Yes.
Jared?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Dina?
Yes.
It is 7:32.
I make a motion to reconvene in open session.
Second.
Jen makes a motion to reconvene open session. John seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. We are back in open session at 8 PM on June 23rd, 2020.
So I can't make motions, so I do need a motion to approve resolution number 20-42, and then we'll do another motion to amend it to make the changes.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 20-42.
Second.
A resolution approving and reviewing executive session meeting minutes.
Second.
So Jen makes a motion to approve resolution number 20-42. John seconds. Is there any discussion?
So the amendment that needs to be made to the motion, I'll say it out loud, and then somebody can say, feel free to say to make a motion as I set forth. So the changes to resolution number 20-42, as that was in your board packet, is going to be that the March 27th, 2018, April 3rd, 2018, April 24th, 2018, May 22nd, 2018, October 9th, 2018, November 13th, 2018, January 15th, 2019, May 28th, 2019, and November 5th, 2019 meeting minutes will be, remain confidential.
I make a motion to amend the resolution 20-42 as amended by Sandy Moss.
Second.
So Jen makes a motion to amend resolution 20-42 as laid out by Sandy Maas, village clerk. John seconds. Roll call.
William? This is to vote on the amendment of the motion.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Jen?
Yes.
Jared?
No.
John?
Yes.
Dina?
Yes.
Chris?
No.
All right.
Passes at 8:01.
Yep.
Now we do roll call on the actual,
Yep. This will be to approve the motion as amended.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve.
it's already
Oh,
on the
it's already
table.
on the table.
Never
You
mind.
made it already.
Did I was gonna say, didn't I do that already?
You did. So that we made the motion, you made a motion to amend it, that was approved, now we're going back to the original motion to approve it as amended. Jen?
Yes.
Jared?
No.
John?
Yes.
Dina?
Yes.
Chris?
No.
William?
Yes.
Motion passes 8:02.
And then the second resolution that I have on there, authorizes the destruction of closed session tapes. Our tapes that, for this meeting, they're destroyed every year when I do our state archivist. The closed session records require me to have a resolution to destroy the tapes, but you can only destroy them after 18 months have passed and their minutes have been approved by this board already. So I think there's only 3 of them on there, but I cannot make motions.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution 20-43, a resolution authorizing the destruction of closed session tapes.
Second.
Jen makes a motion to approve resolution number 20-43. John seconds. Is there any discussion?
Is this tapes that'll have never been released and will never be released?
No, they can be released. So the release isn't really a factor in that. It's whether or not the minutes have been approved and 18 months have passed. So like, as I mentioned, the recording that you hear for right now, I get authorization to destroy this once a year. Closed session has an 18-month time frame and requires me to come to the board.
All right.
David wants the mic.
So the only official record of any executive session you hold is the approved minutes that are released. The tapes are not an official record. The tapes are simply used as an aid for the clerk to prepare the executive session minutes.
Oh, hold on. Don't. I'm gonna keep that for a second. I got a question for you. So this discussion where we see these minutes that we just said whether or not we would release or not are so vague that you can't tell at all what somebody talked about. Why would we not release them if the minutes?
I explained that earlier. So at least in the context of, litigation, if you release executive session minutes, even as vaguely written as ours are, you open a discovery problem when they FOIA those minutes and they see, oh, look, on such and such a date, they discussed the litigation we're currently involved with the village. Now we need to find out what was going on in that discussion.
So then they can get
Then the court can compel us.
for the audio tape.
Yeah, everything. Anyone's notes, your notes, my notes.
Take any notes, so, all right.
Well, I'm just letting you know.
All right. That's what I wanted to know.
So
What was the
on
point?
the destruction too, so like the minutes we just released, for the last session yet, talking about wages, you still have to hang on that for 18 months,
The minutes
the tape.
of the tape, yes.
Cause so that'll still be around for 18 months
Yes,
before you, even though you just released the minutes.
yes.
Actually, from the release of the minutes.
But the actual tapes, the only way somebody's getting them is through court order.
Yes.
All right. That's all I wanted to know. Thanks.
Not to mention, we used to keep tapes, and it cost us extensively in digital storaging, we were buying external hard drives and storages that were getting extensively expensive.
It was bad. Before I took office, nobody had destroyed anything in this village.
All right.
It was bad. Anyway, yes, George.
Still on the table. Any discussion?
Nope, that's it for me.
Roll call, please.
Jared,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Dina,
Nope, she's on mute.
Dina,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
William,
Yes.
Jen.
Yeah.
All right,
Motion passed 806.
that's all I had from closed session.
Anybody have anything further from the board?
I'll mention it because I forgot, I mentioned it during Chris's. Please remember, there is no meeting next Tuesday. I won't be here. Feel free to show up if you want.
Be more than welcome to.
Yes, so it's a 5 Tuesday month, so we'll have a committee meeting in 2 weeks.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Dina makes a motion to adjourn, John seconds.
Jen?
What's my
Jen made a motion?
Jen, damn it. Jen makes a motion to adjourn, John seconds. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. We're adjourned.